And this, you guys, is the afternoon down here. We're near coming around to early evening. Let's get on with the radio show, shall we? Are we ready for this? Are we ready? Welcome back, JW's Radio, and you know what that is. It is Saturday morning. Thanks for tuning in. There's quite a few of you that watch this, and it's much appreciated. And those of you that do, you get kind of the news and kind of an insight on what's going on. I do try to actually, what I'm going to do this time is answer a comment that comes up quite a bit on this channel. And usually it'll show up at least once a month, so we'll get to that. And we got a little mail call. This is from a giveaway that I won earlier this week, so that came in rather quickly. And that just goes to show you right here that that's the other thing I battle living on the island is I get a lot of these companies that say, well, you live in Hawaii and you know, it's gonna cost $50 to get that to you, you know, it's just gonna, and I have actually had one company say we only ship to the US. We are the 50th state. Did you not pay attention in history class? Anyway, I need a large black coffee, only this time it's got sugar in it. A lot of sugar. I just came back to complain. Oh. Yes, we're talking about a lot of cool stuff here. Coming up to the channel, did finally do an update video on the grease for your gun video. It was just a little video I threw together. It wound up getting quite a few views, which I kind of did it because a fellow YouTuber, Stephen Bush, had told me about that. And I was looking into it and everything like that, just trying to figure out if there was another option. Instead of buying stuff, I don't even have it around anymore. It shows you, like, well, not knocking on any particular brand or anything like that, but you know, stuff like Frog Lube and whatnot. I think it was like $20, 20 maybe more for this. What is this? 8 ounces. I mostly use that for like case lube and stuff, but I did notice a lot of different issues of Frog Lube and whatnot. You get stuff I've been trying some other stuff called Slip 2000. Really good stuff, but my big gripe with that stuff is just the expenses. And I don't know, again, if that's because living out here in the islands and people having to ship it over and hazmat fees and all that. Even myself, like, I'd love to try Ballistol. I've not tried it because I can't get it out here. Nobody sells it, and the company, and it's funny, is on the website. Oh, it's non-toxic, and it's all biodegradable, blah, 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 blah. Oh, but we won't ship it overseas. You know, you can't do that. But Amazon will ship Frog Lube. They will ship that Seal one. I think it's all the same product, really. So, but they will ship that, but they won't ship, you know, there's just, that's the tug of war thing with living out here. There's so much stuff they won't ship. I had an incident where when I was casting my own lead and making my own bullets, that was towards the 2013 reign of terror on ammunition and guns and everything like that. I had actually bought my own furnace and bullet molds and was making my own bullets. I don't really recommend it because it's just kind of really toxic. I'm glad I learned how to do it and do it. There's a lot of you that do successfully do it. A friend of mine used to do it a lot, and he used to powder coat them. I just don't do it anymore. So anyway, I had to order this bullet sizing die, and it sizes the bullets after. And what it comes with is a little bottle of this bullet lube or something, and it's a little bottle of, like, it's like glorified wax or something. It's like, looks like tar, if you ask me. But what you do is you heat up the bullets at a hairdryer, add a little bit of that, and tumble them. You know, just kind of like take an old box and just kind of shake them up a little bit, and it coats evenly all throughout the bullets and everything. Well, MidwayUSA.com would not ship that to me because it came with that bottle of substance. And I said, well, take it out. I don't need it. Yeah, I just need the dye. And they wouldn't do it. They just refused to do it. They said, oh no, it's a hazmat, you live in Hawaii, yada yada yada. I contacted Lee Precision themselves. That's who makes the thing. And Lee Precision, big thumbs up for them. They said, that's just ridiculous. It's just wax. And I said, that's what I thought. and And so they say, you know what, we'll ship you the dye that you need, and you know what, for fun, we'll throw in 2 bottles of that stuff just to prove a point. And you know, that Lee Precision, excellent customer service, excellent products, excellent prices. Now, I'm not getting paid for that, I'm telling you the truth. I use their products a lot, and it's just because it's cheap and it works. Who doesn't like that? So, you know, same thing with my Kershaw. This filter, I think that's what they call this. It's the stone wash or black wash. Great knife, assisted opening. You can go and buy this at Walmart, even though you can't have a switchblade here in this state, but you can go and buy that. So I like this knife. You know, I think it was like 13 bucks, and I like the fact that it's got that little hump on the back and one-handed open it right up. So anyway, enough of that. We'll get to that. But the other question I get a lot on this channel is, BATJAC, how many guns do you own? Well, or but basically where they're coming from with that question is because they keep seeing all these guns on the channel. Well, okay, to answer your question, some of them are mine, yes. A lot of the cool classic revolvers are mine, but there's a lot of stuff that's not, because they're either lent to us, or it's just something we've acquired to show and tell, because I thought it would be neat. I have friends that do, for instance, the tan, I'm probably going to mispronounce this, so forgive me, the tan Fogulo, or I think it was, I'm not sure exactly the name of it, I can't remember now, so long ago. But that came in for a friend of mine, the guy that actually casted bullets. That came in, and he said, go ahead and do a video on that. He said, I'd love to, you know, do a video on it. So I do. I take it, put a video on it or whatever, and there you have it. So not all this stuff is mine. Not all of it is actually my personal collection. A great deal of it is, but not all of it. Some things, for instance, as far as the Glock goes, I'm not sure how many Glock videos we have on there. The only one that's mine is the 23. The 23 Gen 4. That's the only one that's mine. So I think the other one, the Glock 21, I think we did a video on. No, not the Glock 21, the 20. The Glock 20. And anyway, I think we have the Glock 34, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, those are all lent to us by a friend of mine. He, you know, provided them for us to use and everything like that. So that's kind of where, you know, so some of that is. I have friends that do say, hey, here, take my gun, do a video. The recent stuff, the Taurus PT 24/7 pistol, that belongs to a friend of mine. The Taurus revolver, the I don't know, the 38 special that looks like a Model 10, that was lent to us. So a lot of these guns are just lent to us, or they're, you know, they've come across so we can do it and make a video of it and show it to you folks. You know, the Browning High Power, for instance, does not belong to us. I used to have a FEG High Power, but I've sold it since the videos that we've done with it. So I have sold off quite a few of my guns that I just felt they really didn't do anything for me anymore. They sat in a safe most of the time, and it was like, yeah, the heck with it. I'll just use the money for something else, and I've done that. So in a technical speaking, like, I haven't bought a gun for a while, and I used to buy quite a bit of them. I used to, you know, back when it was just focusing on, I paid the bills and that was it. And all my play money went to guns. Now it's just like, you know, you get to the point where you have other priorities and they're trying to, you know, everything is crashing down. And so I'll get back into it in the future. I'll definitely, if I can afford it and keep going. You know, these things are expensive. That's the other thing. Somebody asked, they said, they see some of my guns, they go, man, would you win the lottery or something? Well, let me explain something to you a little bit. And I appreciate you thinking I'm made of money. I'm definitely not. Money, we operate on an extremely shoestring budget, an extreme shoestring budget here at this channel. We have absolutely hardly any money coming in to fund any of this stuff. A lot of these videos and things get funded out of my own pocket. Again, I do thank places like Bad Man Bullets for helping us out with the lead to reload to provide the shooting videos for you all. Now, I've been buying Badman bullets before YouTube, long before YouTube, and I've always known the guy and bought stuff from him. And when I started doing the YouTube channel, he offered to send us some stuff and help us out a little bit. So it was all on his own. It wasn't us asking him, and he did it out of the goodness of his own heart. And he provides the channel with a lot of this lead, and it's good stuff. I wouldn't be putting you on, and I wouldn't be saying it just because it's coming into us for the channel. But I've been buying it before that, and his polymer stuff is unbelievable. But what I've noticed about it, everybody asks me, well, how do you clean that? In fact, it's the exact opposite. You shoot the polymer bullets, it's a breeze to clean because it really doesn't leave residue. I run the bore brush a couple of times, that's it. Now I've noticed, like, because I shoot a lot of hard cast bullets out of my 44s and stuff like that, my Model 29s, and I always notice after the day, man, there's lead buildup right beyond the forcing cone, right where the rifling begins. Excuse me. So it's brutal. By the way, ever since I shot the polymer bullets in that, haven't experienced that at all. Really cool. It's been running clean. I've been enjoying it. No hiccups. So there you have it. But yeah, we don't really we don't have a lot of money to deal with here. So back to the gun thing, is when I first got into buying guns, I always bought just the classic stuff. My very first gun I bought in this state on my own, going through the ridiculous steps that you have to go through in this state to purchase a handgun. It was a snub nose Model 10 Smith & Wesson. I went up to a friend of mine, he's a gun dealer, and I said, I want a 6-shot snub nose Smith & Wesson, 38 special. And I remember him thinking, and he said, man, I think there's only one that I can think of that is like that. A couple days later, called me back, said, I got one, went and looked at it, and that was the exact gun I wanted. At least I thought at the time. No. Anyway, that is a whole story of a gun thing, and if you look on my channel, there's videos called Story of a Gun. Look it up. The Smith & Wesson Model 10 Snubby. There's a whole reason why I wanted that gun. But anyway, yeah, I've always bought those guns, and when I was buying them, believe it or not, they weren't, and it's almost sad to say this, because this was only like 5-6 years ago. They weren't the prices they are now. By all means, they were not the prices that they are now. The prices now blow me away, and I'm like, wow. I'm just glad I started buying these when I did, because I bought a lot of them, and I look back at it, it's like, man, I only paid like $400 or $500 for this. Now it's like $800-900. It's like, dang, what happened? A good look at that is the Colt Python. That gun is going for some high dollars. I never thought that gun would go that high. And I even remember before I bought them, before I was buying them up, you could have got one for the same guy I bought a lot of my collectibles from. I could have bought one from him back when I first started. I remember he showed me one before I really knew what it was. I could have bought that thing for like probably $800 or $900, seriously. But as that time marched on, it jumped up to, near 15 and 18. That was hearing back when I was like looking at them and getting into them and whatnot, and I actually wound up cutting the price down from there. But now you look at Gunbroker and whatnot, and it's just sky high. So I'll get into the little bit of a Gunbroker, what I think of, but in a bit. But anyway, that just kind of tells you that I was buying these things, and I feel like I'm talking about somebody back in. And the thing is, I get a lot of messages. Somebody says, well, back in 1970, you could have bought a Colt Python for $300-400. Well, back in 1970, how much was that money equate to today? $300-400 was a lot of money back then. That people didn't make very much money. The minimum wage was not what we know today. So cost of living was lower, but so was the pay. Anyway, if you actually translate the dollar amount from back then to now, it actually kind of comes up almost the same in a sense. So And to anybody that my friend too, he's like wanting to collect these things. I told him, I said, you know, it's hard because this is exactly what was told to me, and it is the God's truth. If you're going to start collecting these things, you got to start as soon as you can, because it's just, the price is just going to keep getting higher. So yeah, I'm not rich. I just when I acquired them, they were not as expensive as they are today. Sad to say that only happened within the last 6 years, but then again, time flies, and 6 years is beyond half a decade. So if you think about that. Anyway, all right. So enough of that. Let's get into this. This is the giveaway from Guns and Gadgets. Appreciate it. He's got a pretty interesting channel. He does a lot of news and updates and things like that, which you don't see on my channel. I just don't do that stuff. But I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, but I just don't do it. But he does, and he does. Actually, that's kind of how I get my news updates. Really, I enjoy watching this channel. So let's go ahead and pop this open, because this is the winnings from his giveaway, which I am always shocked that I actually win. I've won things here on YouTube. My very first one I won was from the Gun Enthusiast. Thank you, bro. I've never, you know, it's like, I've always attended these carnival games or whatever. It's like, you never win. I don't ever expect to win. So when stuff like this happens, and also I won a hat from Mr. Holster. Mr. Holster, if you're watching this, I do have it. It's still in the box. I have yet to wear it. In fact, you know what? All right. Yeah. In fact, this is just for Mr. Holster. Just for Mr. Holster. What do we got here? I have looked at it. I really like this hat. That's why I haven't really worn it, but I should wear it for some of these videos. I'll take the tag off. Some people just haven't figured out that they need to take the tags off their hats before they wear it. Don't cut yourself. Don't cut towards yourself, JW. Okay, tags off. Take this little thing off so it's not scratching me in the head. All right. There we go. Oops. Can't see. Brand new hat. Gotta break it in. There you go. Wearing Mr. Holster's giveaway hat. Right here. Okay, so I'm not gonna turn this over because it's got everybody's address on it. Okay. So again, thanks to Guns and Gadgets right here. This is the giveaway and the winnings, and I really appreciate this kind of stuff because I'm not expecting this. This is really cool, and I really value the giveaway items that I do get from this kind of stuff. That I like to keep it all, and just kind of, it's just really neat. It means something sentimental more than the actual whatever the item is. So, oh, so he threw in, look at that. Okay, I did remember he said he was gonna throw in a couple of these, and I'll do videos of this stuff on the main channel. Or I'm getting confused. For those of you that do not follow me on my vlog channel, the Combat 86 radio show, I do day in the life vlogs. I do them on an everyday basis, and every now and then I'll slip in some extra videos, some movie reviews and stuff like that. So if that stuff does interest you, obviously if you're watching this radio bit, you kind of like this kind of yakking stuff. So anyway, join me on my daily life vlogs. You can check it out, Combat 86 radio show, or the link is in the description below. Anyway. Alright, so that's why I get confused, like this is the main channel. BATJAC JW is the main channel, it's not going anywhere. Okay, so what do we got here? This is really neat. We got the Combat Dagger by Frost Cutlery. Really cool. It's all black. Got the ring that kind of reminds me of the knife, the Jason Statham uses it in Expendables. To cut myself. Wow, man, that's like a Rambo knife right there. Serrations, teeth, wrapped. That's a pretty wicked looking knife there. So we'll do a video of this thing close up, but anyway, thank you to Guns and Gadgets for the giveaway. We will definitely be cool. We'll definitely do a giveaway ourselves here because we're coming up to 3,000 subscribers, guys. Almost to 3,000. And I did one for my 1,000. You know, out here the post office is not, it's just a madhouse to go through and get through and all that. So but I do want to get into the giveaways and give back to the community. And I will be doing giveaways where it's not a VR, a video response. I want to make sure that for those of you that don't do videos have a chance to, because there's a lot of you that don't, that follow me and you're on every single video, and I do read your comments. You guys are there, I know you're there, so we'll get ready to do a comment reading video soon as well. But yeah, we'll do the comment entry on that for the 3,000 sub giveaway. I'll go look around and find some stuff that is decent to give away. So he said he was going to throw in a couple of these little bitty knives for those of you that live in a state where you can't carry something bigger, which this actually, yeah, I think at this state you're limited to like 3 or something, or 3.5 or whatnot. I think this tops the limit right here. I think this is what, 3.5. I believe this is about it. Anyway, so cool little knife, frost cutlery again. Wow, this is pretty neat. You know, he threw in 3 of them. I got 3 of them here. Maybe I'll pay it forward and give you guys one in the giveaway, one of these or so. Cool stuff. Thank you to Guns and Gadgets if you are watching. So, alright, so the other thing, I picked up this. I probably wonder what the heck this is. This is backwoods cigars. These are the ones that was told to me by my fellow YouTuber, now a more personal friend, Arizona Ghost Riders. He's a really cool dude. We were going back and forth a lot about which cigar, like if you look at like all those old westerns, you know, guys, it's Clint Eastwood mostly in all his spaghetti westerns. Anyway, this is the cigar that he uses, and I bought these as, well, really because a prop, really, to use it for a video or so coming up. So anyway, backwoods stuff. It really does smell good. I put it in a Ziploc bag, and it's coming right through the bag and everything. So what are these here? Actually, I'm gonna do a video on it. I got a video on it. I just gotta get it ready to get uploaded. But making wax bullets out of your other things, basically I get the wax from the Cowboy Fast Draw Association, and they come in 45 Colt, or 45, I should just 45 in general, and 38 Special. Now these are for my 44 Magnum, and what I've done is just take the casings from a 44 Magnum, just the casings I have, you know, they're sized and everything, and I drilled out the primer hole in that allows the sparks to go in there, ignite the powder. You drill that out so your primer doesn't back out, and seat the primer, put the squeeze, you know, you pretty much shave in the 45 caliber wax into it, shaves it in, goes in pretty nicely. I usually do it on a surface, and it works. And I've also done it with a 9mm, and that's what I have a video on coming soon, so check that out. And for the gun of the show, I put it back here because it wasn't going to fit on the table to get covered. There's my phone. A Rossi, this is a Rossi 62 slide action, otherwise I just call it the pump action 22 rifle. This is the coolest 22 rifle I think I've ever shot. And I do want the lever action. I've had the lever action in the past. I sold it. I really wish I hadn't, but this is really neat. Otherwise known as the gallery gun. My hollow point, he's another fellow YouTuber. He's got a couple, and he's told the story about the carnival and how people are trying to shoot the red dot out with these things using CB shorts or whatever. This is I'm not a 22 guy. Now I know that's kind of odd. I've had a number of 22 guns over the years. I've had the Ruger Mark III 22-45 target pistol, I guess. I've had the Ruger Mark II standard pistol, the Luger Ruger. Really neat pistol. I sold that. And I've always liked them. I really like the Luger Ruger looking gun. If I ever buy another one, that will probably be it. But there's just the thing that it is just I've not really been a 22 shooter. I had a 1022, Ruger 1022. I sold that. What else have I had in 22? I've had a conversion, a Kimber conversion for a 1911. I had gotten rid of that. I just never 22 and just I was never that into it. But so the ones that I did keep is my Walther PPK in 22. That's basically because of James Bond. I have one in 32. It's expensive to shoot, so I didn't want to. Anyways, I like the 22. I do go on, but there again, I bring out like maybe 50 rounds, and that's about it. I'm done. I don't really shoot it all that much. But this gun, I have shot a lot of 22 out of it because it's just so fun. It's so much fun. I truly enjoy in 22. So this is a keeper. I really enjoy this gun a lot. And if you have not tried one of these, this is a superb gun. Even a friend of mine, he's a police officer. He's into a lot of tactical stuff, and nothing wrong with that. But even when he saw it, he's like, "Oh man, I used to have one of those when I was young, horsing around." He's like, "I love that gun." That coming from him was really cool because he's, a lot of his guns are just, really superb, up the top, tactical, firearms, and he really, he even liked this gun. He shot it, and it's a really accurate gun. Check out my my gun range video with this. We were splitting cards and things with it. Really neat. Just absolutely cool. Bought it off Gunbroker for fairly cheap. And got it, and it's in good shape. Most of the ones I kept seeing were pretty beat up and hammered up, but this one was in good shape. I know Henry makes one, and I do want to get that in the future. The Henry one looks really nice, and I do want to get the lever action 22 as well. So a friend of mine's got the same gun in 22 Magnum, and I had a video on it, and I don't know what happened to it. It must have got deleted. That's the old BATJAC JW for you. I can't. I mess up and I go, all right, I've deleted more things that I shouldn't have. My friend's first hunting trip had it on video, accidentally deleted that. I don't know. Computers and me. And I do have an old phone. I don't, there you go. I don't have a smartphone or whatever. I just, so. Anyway, so back to the gun. Since we brought up Gunbroker, the thing about Gunbroker and prices, it's good and bad because Gunbroker, you can really, if you go in there and you can really scoop up stuff for real cheap, because I've noticed too, like there's a seller on there, and he'll just have a ton of one type of gun. And they're all brand new, and he'll just have like 20 of them sometimes. In fact, one of the most recent auctions I've been watching, it was I didn't do it, because I'm trying to save my money, but they were going for really cheap, and he still got them. But he must have had like 30 of these things or 40 of them, seriously, no doubt. And they're just all on there, and every single one of them is getting a bid. So sometimes you can sneak in there and get them for a lot, way less than what they're supposed to go for in a gun shop. But anyhow, but the bad thing about Gunbroker is you get these people that, like for instance, a collectible gun, like a Colt Python. Let's just use that. It's the old default, right? It may be only book wise, it could only, on the books maybe it's only worth like, I'm just using these numbers as an example. Don't quote me on there being actual numbers. Let's just say as an example, the gun is only book valued at $2,000. But then you get it on Gunbroker, you get the people that are, they just bid. I'm gonna outbid this guy. I want this gun. I don't care. I got all the money that I in the bank account. I'm just gonna $5,000 or whatever. The problem with that is then you see other people go, well, that guy sold his for $5,000. Heck, I'll start mine at $4,000, or I'll start mine at $3,000 and see where it goes from there. Now you've made up kind of a higher price. You've kind of made up your own price. Now a lot of these inherently they do sit there with this high price tag on it, and the auction just goes and nobody bids on it. A lot of people look at it, maybe some people watch it, but nobody bids on it. So it's good and bad. I'd like to say it's mostly good, and you know, there you can go in there and scoop up some pretty cool stuff for a lot less, money in anyway. But as I don't have a lot, but so you can see where I'm going with that. My 629 was like that. I really wanted the thing. I looked for it for a year and wound up scooping it off a gun broker for a lot less, for less than half of what I was being quoted from, from other shops and whatnot. But it was just because, again, that same seller, he had like 3 or 4 of them that are all going off at once, and I just happened to just bid on it and just left it, and I won. So cool. Anyway, well, that's going to conclude this morning's radio. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you made it to the end of this. Go out, enjoy your weekend, enjoy your morning. Thanks for watching. I'm BATJAC JW. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's get to 3,000 subscribers. We can do a giveaway, and we'll do a separate video on that. And also stay tuned. If I can get anything small or whatever, we can do a giveaway right here on this radio. I do want to include those special giveaways exclusively for JW's radio on Saturday morning. So if I find some cool stuff that I can get out to you, I will definitely pick it up, and stay tuned. You never know. Anyway, have a good morning.